Holy shit, guys, I don't think I've ever had more mixed feelings about anything else than the subject of being an employee at McDonald's. Like every job out there, there are jobs when the day is alright, days where the job is alright, and the days where the job is fucking awful. Just like how there are days which are average, not great, but tolerable at the least. I remember how even though when I first started back in 2017, despite the fact that I was embarrassed as fuck to wear that uniform with the black pants and the full red shirt that made me cringe beyond belief, I was proud because I was finally going to start making some money and not have to always borrow money from friends and family and keep raking up the debt that I owe people. And I owed debt to pretty much everybody back then. And thankfully I got it all paid off, so now people don't bug the shit out of me for it. The fact that I worked at McDonald's was also embarrassing, but also excited due to the fact that I was finally making money. My first few weeks there were fucking god awful because I didn't know how to do shit. But like everything else in life, I learned how to do everything. Once I got the hang of how to do everything that I was supposed to do for that time, the job got a bit better since I was no longer constantly being like, hey man, I don't know how the fuck to make a damn McChicken. Which I'm currently embarrassed because I didn't know how to make one when they are literally one of the easiest fucking sandwiches to make on the planet. However, you get my point. I finally knew things. So for a few days after I learned everything that I needed to know for that time being, the job got better. I was still making money and wasn't causing massive annoyance to myself and other employees. So for the rest of that summer, I worked Friday through Tuesday and was making roughly between, let's say, $270 to $350 each pay period. Excuse me. I would say the actual number, but I got rid of my pay stubs from the first time around that I worked there. However, I remember that I was working around roughly 38.2 hours each pay period, and we're on a bi-weekly paycheck system. I thought I was making decent money for my first job, especially since the job I had before this one was as a dishwasher at a shitty local restaurant working below minimum wage, and didn't even have to fill out an application, so it was probably technically illegal if I'm correct. Funny thing is that 6 months after I left, that place closed down. Eat it, fuckers. Anyway, back to McDonald's. So I thought I was making decent money, but then my schedule was an issue with my schoolwork, so I had to change my schedule. Like most people do when school starts, when they were working all summer. Since the person who was the shift manager at the time sucked dick at his job, for about a month, just a simple schedule change was almost impossible because when I turned in a suggested schedule, they said that they could not do that schedule, and then when I came back the next week with a new schedule change like they told me to do, turns out they did my previous suggestion that they said they fucking couldn't do. So I ended up being an hour late to every single shift and just flat out playing fucking missing days that I was scheduled. So they never called me on those days that I thought I didn't work, and turned out that I was supposed to work on those days. And I found this out because I went in one day to get me and my family some damn food, and I got yelled at because I guess I was supposed to work that day and it was busy as shit. So I went back to check my schedule, and it was a schedule that they told me they would not and could not do. And I know what you are all probably thinking. Oh, Dylan, this could have been avoided by simply checking your schedule after your previous shift the last time you worked. Well, I regret to inform you that that's exactly the thing that I did. I checked the schedule after I clocked out on my previous shift. And I checked it after I clocked out, and it was still my Friday through Tuesday schedule. Therefore, they did not inform me of my overnight schedule change that they told me that they could not do, for a schedule that they told me that they could not do. So thanks a lot, Mr. Shift Manager. I will not say his name because I could probably, if an employee were to come across this video, I would probably get fired for dissing one of their longest time employees. But it was true, he sucked dick at his job. Anyway, things only got worse from there. That was only 4 months into working there, and I was already applying to other places to try and find a job that wasn't so full of so much bullshit. No matter where I applied, no one ever accepted my application, so I was stuck at McDonald's and forced myself to put up with the bullshit. Because at least now the schedule change shit was over, and because 3 weeks after all the schedule change issues we finally got figured out, at the cost of me almost getting fired for their shift manager's fuck up. So once we got it figured out, he got demoted to maintenance, if I remember correctly. All I remember for sure is that he got demoted and I laughed my ass off. I worked there for a year, and then I quit when I moved to a town that was 45 minutes away and got tired of being too broke to afford the gas to make it there and to being late to every shift since me and my mother had to share a vehicle at that time, and she worked 45 minutes away from our new town as well. So I quit and I was feeling so happy. I was just like, I'm finally out of there. Fuck yeah. It was happy as hell, but I made a mistake by quitting with only $648 in my bank account. So I went broke again really quickly, which was one of the many reasons that my depression was at my worst in that town, because no other job that I applied to in that town hired me either. Once I found out that we were moving again, I instantly started packing and was happier than a motherfucker because I was finally going to be close enough to my old friends and family to hang out with them again without burning a hole in my wallet for gas, and be able to suck it up and get my old job back, because I'd rather have a job, I will admit, I'd rather have a job that I fucking hate than have no job and be broke and bored. So now I'm back at McDonald's, and the only thing that has changed about it is the stock room. Yep, they're still full of just as much bullshit as they previously were. However, now I'm making almost $700 each paycheck since I'm out of high school now and don't have to change my schedule for school to accommodate my schooling. But I still don't plan on being back for that long. I'll probably be back longer than I hope I'll be, but I hopefully won't be back longer than one more year. In the long run, McDonald's sucks. Yes, it, like every job out there, has its good and bad days, and it has its pros and cons. For example, if you're a stoner, then you get half off your food. Or at least 10%. 10% if it's half an hour before or after, if it's more than half an hour before or after your schedule, and it's half off if you're half an hour within your schedule. But anyway, so it has its pros and cons, but the schedule fuck up and the couple people that I work with make me hate everything about it. If those couple of workers didn't still work there, I could tolerate the job a little bit better. But they're still there, so fuck that place. Or at least that one store. In my opinion, McDonald's is a great restaurant to eat at, but I don't recommend being an employee there. But as I've already stated, if you can put up with the bullshit that place is filled with, it's a tolerable job. And just saying, no, our chicken nuggets aren't filled with purple shit. Fucking idiots.